Hello everyone, and welcome to the ARSE WIN refurbishment technique by Vlad. What I'm going to go through today is how do you refurbish a flat. So when you start from zero, when you just buy a flat, what things do you look out for and what do you follow? How do you know when to refurbish the kitchen, the bathroom, the floor, when there's so much work to be done? What do you do when? How do you get that sequence? This is something that I have came up with over the last couple of days. I've got all the graphics here, and in this video I'm going to introduce it and go through it step by step. I hope you guys like it. So let's start off. We have A, part of the ARSE WIN. A is assess. So whenever you have a refurbishment that you need to do, or you need to project manage, or get somebody else to do, the first step is always to assess. Go and do a viewing and decide what is salvage and what can be replaced. So look at electrics and check, does it have an earth wire, does it need to be rewired, or is it okay, it's salvageable, we can just replace a few plugs and that's it. Look at the plumbing and see, are they all really bad pipes that have been repaired and there's plastic with metal and everything is messed up, or has it actually got decent plumbing that can be saved or can be kept as it is. Kitchen and bathrooms, have a look at that. In the kitchen, for example, are the doors old, but the actual cabinet and everything else is still in good condition? So can you potentially change the door handles just to freshen it up? Can you take the doors off, paint them, put them back on, and it's going to give a nice fresh look? Can you replace the doors and then just call that a day? You don't have to replace the kitchen. Really check inside of all the cupboards, the worktop and everything else, and see what can be salvaged, or in some cases like my case, it's a crap kitchen, nothing can be salvaged, we had to rip it out and put a new one in. So really assess those things. Bathroom, same thing again, can it be salvaged? Can you just freshen it up a little bit? Potentially put some wet wall panels or paint it, change the toilet, or do little things like that to freshen it up, or does it need to be a full rip out and a refurbishment? Windows, is it double glazed, triple glazed? Is it old? Do the handles work? Really try them and see, do they need to get replaced or not? The difference can be huge. You can save yourself thousands of pounds. Not doing the windows can save you 3 grand. Not changing the kitchen can save you 10 grand. So you really need to assess very, very carefully. All the joinery, so it's hard to tell behind the ceilings, the walls, but just have a look roughly. Are the things straight? Does it need to get plastered? Is there any potential leaks that you see? Really assess it carefully in the viewing. And floors as well. Look at the floors. Is it high quality carpets that are already there and can stay? Or is it super old, disgusting carpets or laminate that have to be replaced? You can really tell by looking whether it can be salvaged or not. So first step, assess. Second step we have is rip out. So when you've bought the property, you've assessed it, your offer and what you buy it for is reflected in your assessment initially. You can bring a builder with you if you want as well. Now you've got the keys, you're about to start the refurbishment. The first thing is rip out. So for that one, go in, destroy all the stuff that cannot be salvaged, all fixtures, fittings, appliances, furniture, cupboards, get it all destroyed, moved out. There can be 2 ways for doing that. One is the way I did it, which is destroy it all, load it in the car 100 times, take it to the recycling centre back and forth. That way you save money on not getting a skip, but you have to spend loads of effort, loads of energy, loads of time just going back and forth to the recycling centre. So have a think, can you get a company to take it all out for you? Can you get a skip, or do you want to just do it yourself? But make sure you are responsible and you don't just dump it somewhere. Take it to the recycling centre or an appropriate facility. You have to strip the walls as part of the rip out. So again, for the parts that have to be replaced and can't be salvaged, there might be tiles you have to remove and get rid of. There might be old wallpapers that you have to scrape off. Whatever is on the walls, you have to think, what is it going to look like in the future? Can I just paint it? Or does something need to come off before I can paint it? So have a think about that. Kitchen and bathroom, you know, if they can't be salvaged, you need to rip all the stuff out and take it all away. That can be quite difficult. Ceilings and plasterboards, some walls have that Artex that might need to come off with the plasterboards and get thrown away. Some ceilings are absolutely crap, they're not straight, they're messed up, so they have to come down. Usually it's 1 or 2 plasterboards. You take them down and you can get them removed. And then the floors as well. It's something that you can leave to the end, but if you're being tidy and you can cover the floorboards after you take them out, you can also do it at the start. So floors is a bit of a debatable one, but the other things you really need to do. Plan the rip out properly. I haven't planned it properly many times and it ends up taking ages because if you don't plan it, you destroy one thing, you forget to take it away, you start piling up, and if it's not planned, you just have to keep paying the guys to work and work and work. So make sure you have a plan and a time scale for the rip out process. So that's AR. Now ARS. S is the structural. So once you've removed all the crap and ripped it all out, you look at the structural work. So you look at the roof. Does that need to get any repairs? Get those done if that's needed. You look at the timber, so any joists, floorboards, do they need to be strengthened? Do they need to be more straight? What work really needs to be done there for the structure to be good? Look at the walls, load-bearing walls, to make sure they're all in good conditions, nothing needs to be done. Look at dampness. You can take the plaster up to a certain level and have the the dampness treatment if you want. I've never done it, but I've seen loads of people doing it, so that's potentially something that you might have to do. And then also as part of structural, I would also look at joinery, which is similar to timber, and windows as well. So again, if you need to get the windows replaced, get a company in that will rip the old windows out, put the new ones in, and get that sorted. And now the last part of the ARSE is the E, electrical. You have to make sure the electrical is like the heart of any house. Everything is powered by electrics in most places. So you really need to look at the consumer unit. How old is it? Does it need to get replaced? If it does, get it done. All the wiring, is it still okay or does it need to be rewired? Again, if it does, get it done. Plugs and switches all around the house. Do they need to be replaced? And if they do, again, get them replaced. Not a difficult job to replace them, but something that's worth doing. It will freshen the look massively, and then it will give you some peace of mind because there'll be new plugs and switches all the way throughout. Alarms, you need alarms like heat alarms, smoke alarms for compliance and just for safety. If something happens, you want them interlinked and be going off. And then all the lights as well. So all of the wiring for the lights has to be correct. And then a lot of the time you want to put the lights. I mean, in many refurbs, I hate that in here. Many refurbs, they put this one bulb everywhere. So you have a brand new flat, everything beautiful, and this stupid one bulb hanging here, there. If you're doing the refurb, I would recommend putting some nice lights. Invest a bit more money, but put some nice lights. I'm going to give you an example in our house. Put some nice lights, invest into it, and make sure they are reliable and they will last a long time, and they will give a really good look to the rest of your refurbishment. So this is the ARSE. Now let's move on to the WIN. W is water and waste. As part of the refurb, you're going to have plumbing. You're going to have a water connection coming into your house. You're going to have a waste connection coming out with all of them. Waste can be from the sink, from the washing machine, from the toilet. So for that, inspect all the water pipes, inspect and check all of the connections there. They can be push fit connections, they can be compression connections, they can be soldered. Check them all and make sure they're all in good condition and replace any of the ones that need to be replaced. You might be unlucky like me, you might have to replace the whole system where you have new copper pipes, new connections and everything. But really check the water pipes and make sure those are as new or as good as possible. In here is what I would recommend doing: the bathroom and the kitchen. You might need to replace or refurbish the bathroom and the kitchen, so this is a good step to be doing all of that. Heating pipes, if your house has some sort of boiler, electrical gas that heats up the water, that water then goes around the house, all in pipes. Those can leak. I've dealt with leaks, absolute nightmare leaks on those pipes. So again, just make sure there's no leaks in the system, and if there are any, replace the pipes, do any repairs. And the waste pipes as well. So you might want to have new traps behind the sinks. You might want to have some new waste pipes in some areas. Make sure it's all connected correctly and it's all functioning correctly. Waste pipes, usually there's no pump as well, so you want to have a bit of an angle so that the water flows down. Many mistakes that people make is they make it straight or like that, and the water is always in that waste pipe. All this crappy old water is just sitting there all the time. Don't do that. Make sure the waste pipes are good. So now we've done ARSE and W. Now we're on to the I. I is insulate. So keeping the house warm and cozy. Now that you've done the structural work, you removed all the crap, you've done the structural work, you fixed the electrics, you fixed all the plumbing and the joists and timber, etc. Now is the time that your house is in good condition, more or less done. You want to insulate it, make it nice and cozy. So before putting all the new plasterboards and sealing everything, you just want to make sure things are insulated. So up in the loft, make sure there's a good level of insulation, because from the top you don't want the cold air to be entering. The external walls, you need to make sure there's some insulation there. Different types can be bought, but just make sure that external wall is insulated in some way. You can seal any gaps, so that's where you can put all of your skirting around. You go around, use silicone, caulk, all of that sort of stuff to really remove any gaps and seal them all, and put the new plasterboards back on and get things plastered. So you've done the renovation, you're now sealing it all in place with good quality insulation, so that in the future you can be nice and cozy and the house can be perfect for you. And N is nice. So ARSE, assess, rip out, structural, electrical, water, insulate, nice. Nice is where you make it neat in the end. You make it nice and make it neat in the end. So now that the house is more or less done, what you want to do is you want to choose the right colours for all the walls. You want to get it painted, decorate it, do the flooring. I said flooring is a controversial one. I would recommend doing it in the end. It's not going to look great because you'll be end of your renovation and the floors will look crap. But once you've painted, decorated, done everything, when you put the floors, you're 100% sure that you're not going to mess them up. If you put them early, you can have plaster falling on it, bits of paint falling on it, and you have to wash it. So if you can, put the floors in last. Windows and joinery. For that one, obviously we've already done windows and joinery and structural. This is more painting it, any final touches, any final seals, just making sure it's all nice and neat and ready to be decorated. Put some flowers, make it beautiful. And floors again. So this is a mistake. It's flooring and floors. I'll get that removed, but that should only come out once. So there you have it. What we've got here is ARSE WIN, my experience refurbishment strategy. I hope you guys like it. Any questions, just let me know. This is just a high level potential way of doing it, so it doesn't have to be done that way, but this is what my experience tell me, this is what I would recommend. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next video.